I was watching this movie the other night called 13. It's about this 13-year-old girl who decides she wants to really try to fit in with the cool girl. So she starts getting into drinking and drugs and sex and all that. In a way, it was sad to me. I had this bad feeling while watching it. I guess it was sadness because I started thinking about the need for people to fit in, and that's something that a lot of teenagers go through. Fitting in with the crowd, some crowd. Which makes me think, for much as people want to say, we have, free will, whatnot. It's amazing how you can go from one generation to the next, and you always see the same groups of people, the same cliques. You have the jocks, you have the nerds. Nowadays you have like the golf and all that, but you always, it's always the same. Um, and like I said, I started thinking about sadness in it that, damn, we just gotta fit in, don't fit in, we're unhappy. Girl, she was cutting herself, and like I said, it was just happiness, and that even extends beyond our teenage years. Shit, you'll go on for a long ass time, going to adults, wanting to fit in, be accepted, be liked, be wanted, all that good jazz. Another aspect out of it is doing the drugs and whatnot. Of course, it is deemed that a a kid doing drugs, kid drinking, kid having sex is it's deemed bad, even immoral by some. But being an uncompromising truth, when we look at the inherent aspect of things, inherently there is nothing wrong with a child doing drugs, a child drinking, a child having sex. That's what they choose to do because they are their own being and entity. They are in charge of their life, even if they aren't in charge of their life from the aspect of they aren't mentally advanced to the point where they fully understand the repercussions of their actions. But shit, how do we really know when we get to that point? You know, adults do the same things. Plenty of adults who do the drugs and who do the drinking, who have promiscuous sex, and all that. So, saying his age is nothing but a number, and I think that is true. That number means nothing. It just is representative of the quote unquote time that one has been alive, that one has been in existence, the one has been on this planet, and how many times the Earth has rotated, and how many times the Earth has gone around the sun, and blah 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 blah. That's all it is. It's indicative of one's advancement in how their body advances. Excuse me. How one body grows, how one's brain literally grows in size, and how one goes through the same things that generally all human beings going through. Once again, one can question, freedom, all that good stuff. When we have we have standards, we have road marks that a person goes through, that a human being goes through in general. There are road marks that one should achieve at a certain age. A 1 year old, a 18-month-old, a 2 year old, and so on and so forth, of how one is going to act. It can be predicted of how a child should act. And it's predicted how a teenager will act. And of course, there are those who are outside the norm, but there is a norm that is representative of the majority. So it is. So as much as one wants to you know, say how wrong it is for a teenager to do such. Once again, no matter what, they are their own person. Once they start thinking about being their own person, they are their own person. Once they start thinking about it, once it is in their mind that I want to do my own thing, well, you cannot say it is not their right to do their own thing. Not in truth. You can, and as one, I'm an adult, I'm a parent. And of course, I am the parent of 6 children, so of course I've been in a position and I've held that position. In a position that I've been brought up and told that is my position that I am supposed to take. That I have to take even. Matter of fact, I have to take by law. But, like I said, being in uncompromising truth, every single being is their own being. They have the right to what it is they want to do. Of course, that's why I say, all 16-year-olds, 16-year-olds ought to be the age of, what is it? I'm missing a word. The age is where they can decide they can just leave out and move. Hell, anytime a child, to my kids, anytime you think you want to go ahead and move out, go ahead. I don't care how young you are. If that's what you want to do, then do it. It's your life. It is your life. It is your existence, your being, plain and simple. And no one can take that from anyone else. They can try, and we generally do. And we'll do it forever. People will forever try to tell somebody else what to do. Tell adults what to do. Tell old people what to do. And that's the nature of, once again, that's the natural nature of a human being, is to always want to tell somebody else what to do. That is natural general nature. But it's not my nature. It is something that I've partaken and I have done as a parent, because I saw it as my duty, my job, that's what I must do as a parent. But it's something that I battle with in myself, because, once again, I hold that a person is their person. And if I want to say I should, I'm doing it for the well-being of my child, I can't truly say that. Because that's judging what is right and what is wrong. And what can one say is what is right and what is wrong. And really that brings me to it, to a point where I really went to, which I was thinking of when watching this Storytellers with Pink, the singer, the entertainer, who is just awesome. I love Pink. Pink went through a period where, as a very young teenager, after her parents divorced, where she was doing drugs, where she was out and about and rebelling and doing her own thing. And of course, back then that was deemed as just totally wrong, totally disrespectful, because she's holding herself. Why an adult would say, well, you're doing what you shouldn't be doing to yourself because you're hurting yourself, blah, 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 blah. And that's generally the mindset that anyone would take of a child doing drugs. But it's her life. And then we come today to the fact that she went through that period, and she came out. Look where she is today. She is at a station, a stature in life that is held as being ideal, right? She's famous, she's rich, and that's the dream. That's the American dream. That's a dream within the world. So, if she came out of that right, one can question, how could one have justly judged her back then as a child? If she hadn't done that, would she be where she is today? Right? If she would have been prevented, she would have prevented from that, she would have been sent away or something, whatever it is, would that have changed who she is, and would she have not been who she is today? Sure, there's been plenty of, children who have gone on route and just stayed that route and been homeless or died or whatever it is. But there have been those who didn't do drugs at a young age, who didn't drink at a young age, and as an adult they got into it, and as an adult who got into it later in life, they just became homeless or got into prostitution or went to prison or that. So you can't, by by nature to say that, you know, if you do this, then this is what's going to happen. Because what is going to happen is what's going to happen. You know, it's that mystery of the existence of this world, the actions and reactions and the possibilities of actions and the possibilities of reactions and the truth of what may happen in one's life. You know, what is the fate of one's life? The fate of one's life is the truth of one's life. We all have our own fate. We all have our destiny. And our fate and our destiny is the truth of what our life is. What can happen and what will happen and what does happen. And it's all ultimately truth.